Alright, so just decided I was going to throw some paint on rather than holding off. I'm going to run to Home Depot in a little while, get my last sheet of 1/2-inch ply for this. But this coat that I'm putting on top is literally, this whole thing is going to be covered in carpet. So this is literally just to kind of waterproof the wood itself that's going on. It was the same thing as the front deck over there. It's really just meant to waterproof underneath the carpet. So that's all that's happening here. I'm gonna let the top dry and then I'm gonna flip it over, paint the bottom and the inside, and then attach my front board, and then permanently mount the seat. So, but again, I'm starting to lay it out again. I want to get final position here. As you can see right under here, there'll be a piece of PVC pipe that's going to be attached to the floor that I'm going to run all the wiring from the front to the console coming through the starboard side. There's my switch panel, so this will be the nav lights, so my bow lights and my light that's going onto the back of that bench. Then I'll have my Lawrence on the middle switch, and then my right switch will be my Bluetooth radio. And that's pretty much it. We're about to get to the big part of the floor. I'm just waiting on, I ordered something special for the floor. I'm going to do, instead of doing carpet on the floor, I'm going to be doing a faux teak foam type decking. That's gray and red with red seams, which I think will pull this whole thing together really nicely. So I'm just waiting, that'll come in tomorrow. So I'm going away this weekend, so the boat project will be put on hold for the weekend, and then back to it. I just have a little touch-up paint job to do here. There was a seam that I didn't really like, so I put in additional wood filler and sanding it down, and then I just got to repaint the top and then completely done with the console. So, all right, let's keep it going. All right, so today's the day. I'm gonna test out my motor. I got these two really old batteries, not the ones I'm getting. They're just old and all run down. So I have them set up to a trickle charger, jumps for 24. So that's the positive to the negative of this one, and then that's the positive and that's the negative. Run to the motor. I have it on a little trickle charger. Whatever power I get. Again, this is my 3D printed little throttle that I have made up. So let's see what we get. Uh-oh. Oh, got a little bit of movement there. There we go. Alright, drop it down. Back to neutral. Now let's try reverse. Hey now, we got a motor that works. All right, that was a good test. Time to take it off and keep working. But at least I can rest easy knowing that my motor works for now. So as long as I don't screw anything up, we should be good. So while we're on the topic of the motor, I wanted to show you what it's gonna look like in the console. So I do have my little onboard charging port. So that will get, when I need to run it, I will plug an extension cord into here. When I need to charge it, I mean. And then there will be an onboard charger right there behind the seat. It'll be mounted in behind the seat and then plugged in there, so that all I have to do is plug in an extension cord and my motor batteries are charging. So now I have this fuse panel from my old boat. So I just reused it. A lot more. It's got a lot more fuses than I actually need, but whatever, it works. So this is my fuse panel. This is going to be a negative bus for me. That's going to run to my house battery. So my house battery is going to be up front. So the wires, once I figure out exactly where I'm putting this PVC pipe, I'm going to cut it in to the side of the console here so that it slides in and then slides forward to run the wires up forward. I'm going to have a negative from the battery coming from the house battery up front, running all the way through to this bus. And then all my electronics that are at the console station will be wired, the negatives will be wired into this bus here, and their positives will be to the fuses that they need to go to, and attached to the switch as well. So now my two motor batteries are going to go under here and taking up most of this space. With the alternating, because I need 24 volts, so on hopefully either front or back or left or right, however they fit in, it'll be positive on this side and negative on this side. I'm going to run positive 24 volts to my breaker. This is a 70 amp breaker. From what I can tell, the motor at max pulls, I think like 60, 65, 68 amps, something like that. So I put a 70 amp breaker on here. So my positive will be run to my 70 amp breaker, which will then run, so the positive will go here, and the other positive will lead up into, I don't know if you can see it, but that's the back of my actual battery cutoff switch. So this will be connected through the positive. Then the main positive will come out of the battery switch and run down to the back of the boat to the motor. The motor negative will run straight up and go straight into the negative on the battery. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it's going to be wired up. All these wires are coming down from the switch panels and the different breakers up top. So there's a battery lead for this that can be connected directly to the battery, to the motor batteries, and it'll give me my amp draw as I'm going. Oh, I'm sorry, the motor pulls a 58. I might need to get a different breaker, because I think the motor tops out at 58, I want to say, amps. So maybe I ordered the wrong breaker. I might have to order a new breaker and get a small, a 60 amp breaker. But yeah, so all those wires are coming from the 2 gauges there, which this will get hooked up to the 24 volt system and be my battery gauge up here. It also has a little, it'll count how many hours it's been running, so that'll help out too, for just quick calculations of how much amperage I've drawn already. And then that's my current amp draw that I'm going to get on there, and then my switch panel for all my accessories. So that's pretty much the way it's going to go.